Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Leigh Fuge and I'm here at the British Boutique Guitar Festival, and I'm here today with Matt from Fidelity Guitars, and we're going to be taking a look at this lovely guitar. So what am I holding here?
It's the Stella Rosa Deluxe. So it's our 3 pickup version of our, we're going to Stella Rosa shape. So the original one that was that I built was commissioned for Mark Ramsley at Mojo Pickups.
Okay, cool.
Who does all the pickups for our guitars. But it's based on an old Stella Japonica, so an old sort of Japanese catalogue guitar. It says, sort of, can you make me something like this? It was like, the original one's very rectangular. It's like someone took a chopping board and then got it on a bandsaw and just sort of hacked off a few bits. It's like, can I tweak it a little bit?
Yeah.
So I started with that and sort of came up with the pickups around to sort of mirror the original sort of catalogue thing and took it from there.
Cool. So what are we doing spec-wise here then? What's everything made out of? What type of woods are we using? Because the neck in particular is very, very nice. Get some nice close-ups of that on the camera mic. Which camera am I pointing at? That one.
So yeah, body's swamp ash, chambered swamp ash. There's quite a lot of air in there that we're taking out, and then the top is roasted swamp ash. Okay. Just because it seems to sort of ring a little bit better. Yeah. And then the neck is roasted flame maple.
That's a lovely flame on that.
So one nice piece, and it's truss rod from the back on that, so it's a little bit of zebra wood just to cover it up. And then a Wengi fingerboard.
Oh, so it's not the same wood?
Oh, sorry, not Wengi fingerboard, it is a one piece, sorry. Oh, right. It's just a confusion.
Cool, yeah, no, that's lovely. So, yeah, we've got 3 pickups, and you mentioned there's a couple of different switching options then. So what can we expect from the switching?
Yeah, so because there's 3 pickups, I always found with Strats that it was always difficult to land on like the in-between sounds if you're quickly changing. So the way I've done it, I've got 2 rotaries down here. I like rotaries, and I like being able to put series mix options and stuff, because I always think it's the best sound you can get when you get 2 pickups combined. So this one here is controlling combinations of those 2 pickups. Okay. So the neck and the bridge, so you've got sort of bridge there, series, parallel, and then the neck. And then when you switch to the other one, then you've got combinations of these 2. So it's the bridge there, and then the middle there with some combinations of them in between. So the idea is that you basically find your 2 favourite sounds, or 2 sounds you need for your verse and your chorus, and then you can just ping between them. And that would just flip between those 2 circuits. That's it, yeah. Is that just like a master tone? Master tone and master body. Cool. Okay, cool. Well, let's have a listen then. So I'll just play a bit and switch and see what it sounds like. So we're going through the Brelliot Big Bold Bertha, the BBB30. So this is a medium to high gain hand wide amp. So we're going to start off with some clean sounds. Quite interactive as well, so in some cases there's a few sort of hidden settings where it'll bring in all 3 pickups at the same time. Okay. If they're both there, you'll definitely be on the bridge, for example. If they're both there, you'll definitely be on either the neck or the middle. Right, okay. So how would you get all 3 on? So all 3, you'd go maybe yourself up the neck and the bridge in series, right? And then you can add the middle one in parallel if you had it there as well. Oh, okay, right, that's cool. What would this do then if you had all 3 in this set? Nothing. Okay. Okay. Actually, yeah, if you flick into, it'll be 2 in parallel with the extra one thrown in series. Right. So, yeah. Throw my pick as well. The trem's descendant, so it's Chris Swope, Swope Guitars. This is his part, and he's very kindly let us sort of put our own custom plate on the top of it. So they normally come in sort of the Fender offset shaped plate, right? Yeah, but didn't really suit the rest of the guitar. So he's let us sort of take that off and put our own piece on there that kind of fits with the rest of the shape of the guitar. Nice. That's a cool customization then, because it kind of ties it into your brand and your sort of aesthetic then as well. Yeah, since the start of building the guitars, it's been really important to me to sort of get as many of the parts custom made for the guitars as possible. So I always thought, like, Fender have Fender parts, Gibson parts, and there's so many great builders out there who would just sort of put aftermarket parts onto the guitars, and thought if we can try and get my own stuff on there as much as possible. So the bridge is custom, pickup surrounds, trem plate, all that kind of stuff.
That's cool. So all the pickups are done by you guys as well?
Pickups, the Mojo pickups up in Halifax, so he rewinds them all to spec. So for these ones it's a P90, sort of a regular P90 in the bridge with a nickel bezel, gold foil in the middle, and then a Charlie Christian in the neck, which is my favourite pickup that he does. It's just a super low resistance but really big and warm sounding.
Yeah, so it's basically geared, I guess, more towards vintage sounds.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not really like a sort of a high gain, high output sort of machine.
Probably not this one.
Could give it a go. Blues and classic rock and those type of things.
Yeah.
Cool. In that case, then we'll go over to the gain channel and we'll see how the pickups handle a bit of gain.
Cool. If you want that, so if you want that Charlie Christian, then you can find it somewhere. I don't think my hand moves that fast. It's nice to it's nice to see people play.
So what else have we got? That's a good.
So this will be your
gain set
bridge there, probably. That'll be this P90.
So that's just the P90.
Just the P90, yeah. And for your sort of biggest, warm, sort of darkest tones would be the series options. That'll either be the bridge and series with the gold foil or the Charlie Christian, depending on which position that leaves.
Ah, right, okay. So I'm starting to get that now. Yeah. So that's those two engaged, and then that would be those two engaged.
Those two.
Okay, cool. So there's some really in-depth switching options on this guitar. And they clean up nice too.
Thanks.
They clean up very nice.
It's really clever, this part. So what he's done is he's dropped the back of the trem down inside the guitar. So actually the ball ends are lower than the surface of the guitar, which means you can get more of an angle up over the bridge, which helps to settle down the whole setup. Because normally if you've got a shallow angle there on a Jazz Master or a Jag, the strings want to sort of skip around on the saddle.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. I don't know if we can get a good shot of that. What's the best camera to go for that one, Mike? So you can see the string ends actually sit just inside the cavity of the guitar. That's really cool. So that would obviously aid the tuning stability as well, just make it a bit more solid. It's a really smooth feeling bridge. You don't have to give it much.
No, we don't sort of all of the saddles here, but they're the same adjustable ones. We sort of looked at on a different guitar earlier, but once you get the intonation in, then you can just slot them, grease them up, and then in combination with that trem, it seems to keep sort of fairly smooth but also stable.
Cool. And it's a good weight as well, considering it's chambered. It's still
because it's a big old lump of ash. It's quite a large outline, but so much of it's taken out that it tends to keep it down at the end. But there's so much metal on there that you kind of have to try and hog a lot of the wood out so it doesn't end up as an absolute beast. But
yeah, it sounds great. I love the sound of it. What would you say is your favourite pickup combination on this? And so if we were going to have like one definitive sound for what your vision of this was.
I think it's this one that you're on at the moment, so it's these two in series. So like I said, any sort of series sound I like, just for the sort of the little boost you get off of it, and then anything with that Charlie Christian is I'm happy with. So.
It's very dynamic with this amp as well, because this amp almost verges on fuzz. There's like a slightly fuzzy kind of overtone to it.
There's a slight sort of thing around the edge of the breakup, isn't there?
That's it. So when you're playing like bluesy stuff, especially with these pickups, because they're sort of single coil variants, you get that real nice bite from them. Cool. So yeah, thank you very much for
thank you for playing
showing me this thing.
Yeah, thank you for
what a great guitar. It's my first experience playing one of these things, and very impressed. So if people want to find out more about the brand, where can they go?
Instagram's probably the best place to go first. So it's just Fidelity Guitars, and then also Facebook or on YouTube as well.
Awesome. I'll put some links down below in the description to Fidelity Guitars, so you guys can go check those out as well. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of this thing. It's a really cool guitar. I love the look of it. The sounds are, you know, they sort of speak for themselves really. And the neck is, yeah, that's a real nice neck.
Yeah, so we started doing just one coat of oil on all the necks now. So it's sort of a two-part oil. It's got a hardener in it, but you literally wipe it on, wipe it off, leave it a day, buff it. That's it. So they feel really smooth, sort of satin.
It feels kind of worn in, like it doesn't feel like a new neck, which for me is quite a nice thing, because I like guitars that just have that slight edge to them. They feel like they've been used a little bit.
Feels a bit vintage when it's still a new guitar,
And obviously you've done a little bit of light relicing on it as well, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, part of it's sort of personal preference, that I like the way they look. And the other part of it is that I think it just takes away that, for me, like, guitars are tools first, so it takes away that sort of fear factor. If someone gets a new guitar that's potentially spent quite a lot of money on, if it's already dinged up, then you're not worried about dinging it, you can just play it. And then the other part of it is that it's really hard to get a flawless sort of finish on sort of cellulose paint on nitro. So rather than try and do that, if I can relic around it and relic out the flaws, then I can keep the cost down a bit as well for the price to the customer. So
makes perfect sense. Cool, well there we are. Let me know down below what you guys think of this, and don't forget to check out all the other content from the British Boutique Guitar Festival as well, from all the brands and all the channels. Big thanks to Mike for putting the event on, and a special thanks to the main sponsor of the event, David Dyke Luthier Supplies. Thanks guys, see you soon.